guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka geekxxchic, and I'm back with another review to The Flash. This is for the latest episode, which was called Seeing Red. And this one was, again, kind of an okay episode. It was much better than last week's, in my opinion, but again, it kind of felt pacing-wise like it was a little slower than I would have liked for this far into the season. But there were some good things that came out of it, in the sense of at least moving the cicada plot forward a bit, because it has been lagging over the holidays, which was okay. We didn't necessarily need to jump into everything so early in the season. And of course, with this overarching Thawne, whatever it is what's going on with Thawne, is this story, this agenda, it's okay that we kind of have gone a little bit back and forth between those two things. I don't know, I just kind of feel like, as I said in the reaction, if you just watch that, I feel like the realization that Barry came to in this episode of, hey, Cicada's a dad, so maybe we should be trying to like show him that, you know, we're good people by helping Grace. Like, I just kind of feel like that would have been the first thing. Like, I don't know, I just remember thinking earlier in the season that as soon as they figured out that Cicada is mad at Metas because of what happened because of a Meta, so maybe, you know, instead of showing him all the evil Metas can do, why not turn around and show the good that Metas can do? But again, I'm not sure if that is necessarily going to work, especially at this point. Cicada has interacted with the Flash and his party on entirely too many occasions, and he's clearly just, I think it's an ego thing for him now, more than anything else, especially considering the fact that in this last fight, Barry could have killed him. And Cicada's got a real reality check that he's not invincible, despite the fact that his dagger can do wonderful things. And so the fact that he's now studying Team Flash again, and even after Barry showed him that, I feel like if anything was gonna move Cicada as far as meta anything, it would have been the mercy that the Flash ended up showing him in that last moment. Like, the Flash had no reason to save him. He had no reason to let him live, but he did. And the other girl, the girl who he literally paralyzed like 24 hours earlier, was the one to say, no, please don't do it. Like, to me, if that wasn't enough to make Cicada or Dwyer like think, maybe not all Metas are that awful. Maybe I should be rethinking this. I don't think saving Grace is gonna be the way to do it. Saving Grace. I see what I did there. I don't think it's gonna be the thing that's going to be the catalyst at this point. I really think that if anything that Team Flash does to try to help her at this point, I really do think it's just gonna be seen by Cicada as like, how dare you use your dirty meta tricks to help my Grace. But what I think will be interesting, and I don't know if we're gonna get it this season or not, because Grace has been outside of the flashback we got in that one episode. We've really not seen anything of Grace, but I think it would be fantastic. Like, you know how happy I would be if Grace comes out of this coma and she's a meta? Do you know how brilliant it would be if at the end of all of this, Grace came out of it and she was a meta, and then he had to suck on that? You gonna kill your little daughter now? You gonna kill your niece because she's a meta now? Is that what you're gonna do? Yeah, something tells me the scales would change a little bit, but I digress. Let's talk about a couple things in the episode that stood out to me. I guess one of the cuter things in this episode that I did enjoy was the West Allens just fawning over Nora. It was, I mean, obviously it was sad that she got paralyzed. Honestly, I did not see that coming. We don't get to see like really crazy injuries happen on the Flash often. I think the most like harrowing ones we've seen, or not harrowing, but I think the most violent ones we've pretty much seen is like Barry getting stabbed by Killer Frost, and maybe the arrows that Oliver shot into his leg. But for the most part, injuries on the Flash usually tend to be just, you know, a flip here, a knock there, maybe, you know, a fat lip. Like, it's usually nothing too crazy. But a back break, like on a girl, I was like, wow, Flash, that was some arrow stuff right there. That was some dark times. I was shocked, but I mean, hey, I feel like the Flash has gotten to the point now where we can kind of take some of the baby rap off of this show and make it a little bit more realistic. And the reality is, some of these metas are not gonna be playing nice just because it's the Flash, who's, golly gosh gee whiz, a nice guy. These criminals have no reason to be nice. So anyway, I just thought it was kind of cute that, coming back to my point, West Allen seeing, you know, Barry and Iris just so mommy and daddying over Nora was really cute. It was kind of a nice little preamble to what it'll be like when they actually have their twins. Because listen, I'm still holding on to my theory that Nora is not going to stick around. And this is no shade to Nora, but honestly, like, even though this actress is amazing and this character has been interesting at times, I I just don't believe that we're not going to get the Tornado Twins. I don't believe it. I feel like when all is said and done, Nora is not going to continue to exist in this timeline. So all that aside though, it was still cute to see Barry and Iris be all mommy and daddy with Nora, and it was really cute to see Iris the way she talked down to Sherlock, like, listen, that is my baby girl in there. I see what you're doing and I don't like it. I will protect my baby. And we all know that Iris does not threaten idly. She does not threaten. There's not empty threats. That girl can dual wield. She's got bombs on her earrings, like, don't. But it was cute to see her go into mama bear mode, although I disagree with her on this particular one in that her reason for not wanting to investigate Nora is purely on her motherly affection. And of course, in that particular moment with Nora being hurt, she's gonna feel even more overprotective. But we all know that when, even in the first, 3-4 episodes of the show, Nora lied about not being able to get home. She lied about why she came. Like, Iris should objectively, if she was looking at this through an objective lens and not that of a mother, she would see that Sherlock is not so far off in thinking that Nora could keep secrets. She has done it before. But anyway, that aside, also Barry, girl, you know I love me some angry Barry. We don't see it often. We don't get to see Barry just get a little testy with folks that often, and I enjoyed it thoroughly in this episode, okay? I feel like with Barry's character, I know that he is a happy person by nature, and overall he's pretty level and even keeled, that's a trait of his, and I do enjoy it. But I also just like to see people be a little more real. I like to see Barry get a little bit of an edge, and I think the last time I saw him like really get like angry, and it was really fun to watch, was way back in season 1 with the first crossover, when he was, when Rainbow Raider hit him with that anger ray that he did with this thing, and Barry was just ticked the whole episode. I was like, you know, I know this ain't gonna last, but I don't really dislike this Barry. He was just snappy and just kind of grunting at people. I don't know, it's just kind of fun to see a different side of him. And so even though I knew it wasn't gonna last in this episode either, and that we always get it reinforced to us over and over again that Barry is a good guy and he doesn't kill people, that's not the kind of vigilante he is, but still it was just kind of fun to see him. Like, he had every right to be ticked at Cicada. I mean, that's the reaction I expect from a father when you touch his baby girl, when you put your hands on his baby girl. I expect that Barry wanted to, Barry was ready to paralyze him. You feel me? I'm actually surprised during that phase he didn't just grab that spinal cord and just, you know, Mortal Kombat style. But I mean, again, that's wrong show. But it was nice to see. It was cool to see overprotective Barry, and I think this is the first time we're really seeing Barry completely open up to the idea of Nora, because I think I commented earlier in the season that Barry, despite the fact that Nora was very much like, daddy, 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 and he was like, I don't know. He was always kind of trying to keep her a bit at arm's length, but I think this is the first episode we really see him kind of fully opening up to Nora and being like, no, this is my baby girl. I do care about her. The thought, that moment where he thought she might have been permanently hurt or worse, like, that was the realization for him that no, like, this is my daughter, and I can't even fathom what life would be like if she got hurt. So it was cute, but obviously I feel like they're setting this up so that when the truth does come out, which it's got to, I feel like the show would miss such a massive opportunity if they do not have it come out that she's working with Dawn. It's gonna be all the more the deeper kick to the gut for Barry, especially Barry. I mean, Iris is gonna be pissed, but she's gonna be more pissed because Barry is gonna be super hurt by that. And so I don't know, if the show does it right, it could work out to be a very interesting story with them trying to figure out how to navigate through that. Because Barry, we all know the one person in this world that Barry just, you know, it takes everything in him to even think about forgiveness for is Eobard Thawne. So I guess kind of falling into the whole thing with him and Cicada as well, I gotta say it again, I've said it a number of times, Barry can't fight. Okay, bless him. He's sweet, he's fast, he can do a lot of cool things. Fighting is not Barry's strong suit. It's just not a talent that Barry has. And it bothers me. I feel like by season 5, Barry definitely should have been taking regular lessons from Oliver. He could literally run to Star City, do a 1-hour lesson, and be back before dinner. Like, he should be trying to learn to fight. Because especially now, especially with a meta that can take his powers away, it's just terrible to see him get his butt handed to him over and over again because he doesn't actually have combat skills. He doesn't have melee skills. Apparently nothing from his body swap with Oliver just kind of stuck around. So just, every time I see him be like, you know, in that last scene when Caitlin was like, let me help you, and he's like, don't worry, Caitlin, I've got this, he's mine. No, Barry, he really isn't. If you don't have your super speed, bless your heart, you don't know how to fight. Anybody with about 20, 30 pounds on you and a solid right hook will take you out. We've seen this time and again. Barry, you need to start taking some melee, some combat classes, you know, a little taboo or something. Just run. Okay, if your powers are gone, just do your best to run, because he doesn't really run. If you notice, Cicada doesn't chase people by running, he walks, because homie's got broken lungs and stuff. Anyway, that's just a side gripe that I just gotta bring up yet again. Hashtag teach Barry to fight. Other than that, we really just kind of had a lot of Killer Frost stuff that I'm just not gonna lie, I just wasn't all that interested in. It's just more of what I've already talked about in previous episodes. The writers are trying real hard to get the audience on board with this Killer Frost character and liking her and rooting for her. And I honestly just can't be bothered. Like, it just doesn't interest me in the least. I'm not here nor there. I'm not for or against. I just honestly don't care. And I missed Cisco this episode, but considering he annoyed me so much last episode with his anti-meta storyline, maybe it's good that he got a little break, and maybe when he comes back, I don't know what we're gonna do actually, because like I said in the last episode, his character has been meandering for a while, and I'm really not happy that the story they chose to give Cisco as far as a new B-plot is this Metacure thing. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't seem in character for him, so I don't know what it'll mean when he comes back. I feel like we just need Joe to come back. Okay, JLM is due to come back in a couple more episodes. I feel like Joe needs to come back and just talk to everybody. He needs a dad speech, everybody on the Team Flash. He needs to be like, Nora, stop lying. And Iris, stop being blind to your daughter. And Barry, just learn to fight, damn it. And well, Ralph, you haven't even been here, so you just keep doing you. And Sherlock, like, why are you still here? And finally, just, oh my gosh, Cisco, what the heck? No, of course you don't want to not be a meta. Stop it. Stop the nonsense. But he'd say it much more articulately and more fatherly and endearing the way that Joe does, and not in the really like catty way that I just did. But it was sad that we didn't get to see the full team this episode. I personally would have preferred to see more of Cisco than so much dedicated to the Killer Frost episode. Other than that, there really wasn't too much in this episode. I don't think it was really filler because, as I said, we did get some movement in the Cicada storyline. We now have a blood sample with his DNA. They can use this and whatever the meta shards in his lungs are doing to him to synthesize this cure. It makes me wonder if potentially it would work on Cicada, because I mean, the fact that it seems to be infusing with him, it seems to be having a weird reaction. Like, it's like it infuses him with dark energy, but it takes it from other people. So it's an interesting kind of push and pull there. But whole point is they now have this sample that they can work with. I personally feel like they should just create a virus that's completely just made for his DNA and make it airborne and then done. And also a very interesting idea that Sherlock brought up about going to the future to see Eobard Thawne. I am wondering if that's gonna happen this season, and it also makes me wonder what Eobard would do if Sherlock showed up, because that's something I don't think he could have accounted for, but who knows? That's pretty much it for the episode, guys. I don't have a lot to say this time around because I just feel like there wasn't too much to talk about outside of what I just said. So what did you guys think of this episode? How are you feeling about the progression of the storyline so far? How are you feeling about this whole thing with Barry finally opening up and letting Nora in only to have to find out that she's betrayed him? How do you think he's gonna handle that? Please leave your comments below. You know I love reading them and getting involved in that conversation with you. And if you like this video, guys, please click like. And if you want to see more from this geeky face, please click subscribe. Until next time.